live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Today we learn more about the man who held people hostage at a Texas synagogue and what they say happened inside. Plus, the battle to change voting laws, what Republicans and Democrats are saying this Sunday.
I do see somebody in the car, and everything inside me was like, Jake, open that door, make sure he's all right.
And we'll introduce you to a Rockford man that some are calling a hero. Good evening, I'm David Greenberg. Alexis Carpello is off tonight. We begin tonight with the story of that man that many are calling a hero, stopping to help when he saw a car crash near Rockford Career College on South Alpine. He got there even before police. Eyewitness News reporter Rachel Perry met with him today. Rachel, what did he describe happened?
David, Jake is a private investigator and was working a case when he saw the crashed vehicle and jumped in to help. The driver of the vehicle survived but is being treated in the hospital, undergoing several surgeries, including one today. Now, Jake tells me he's hopeful his actions will inspire others to help someone in need.
I do see somebody in the car, and everything inside me was like, Jake, open that door, make sure he's all right.
A gut feeling that Jake Henson acted on.
So I open the door, and here's a man, and his face is laying against the steering wheel, and the airbag had went off, and the airbag was like stuck underneath of him, and the airbag made like a pocket, and his face actually was in a pile of his own blood.
That's when the private investigator says he noticed the driver wasn't breathing.
I brought his head back out of the pile of blood, or puddle of blood, and right when I did that, he just like hacked up, you know, and I could hear him start breathing. He's like, and then he kind of started screaming in pain.
Police were called and the driver, Trevor Ladson, was taken to the hospital. Trevor's mom, Tina, tells me he's doing better but has a long ways to go. In a message, Tina writes, "Our family is beyond thankful for Jake stopping and helping him. We are very lucky parents." Trevor is also very thankful for Jake and anyone who helped and is looking forward to shaking his hand. A handshake Jake is looking forward to.
I said, I want to go and meet him so bad. I told her, the only thing I don't want you guys thinking is I'm there for like, hey, I need a thank you, you know, or something like that. I said, I just feel like I'm invested in this. And we started crying again. And he said about 5 times how you have to bring me this guy and I have to meet him. So yeah, I definitely will be for sure.
Trevor's dog was also in the car with him, but is doing okay. Jake tells me he will keep us updated on the meeting with Trevor and is eager to shake his hand. David?
Thank you, Rachel. One man and a dog are dead after a house fire in DeKalb. Firefighters arrived on scene shortly after midnight to heavy smoke coming out of the roof. Took nearly an hour and a half to get the fire under control. The cause of the fire has not been released. It is being investigated by the State Fire Marshal's Office and the DeKalb Fire Department. Iconic Tuskegee Airman and Brigadier General Charles E. McGee passed away today at the age of 102. Born in 1919, he was only one of a handful of Tuskegee Airman pilots remaining who flew air combat missions in World War II. McGee successfully completed 409 air combat missions across 3 wars, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. A statement from McGee's family said the general died peacefully in his sleep with his right hand over his heart. In case you didn't hear, late last week, local group VetsRoll announced they would not be taking their annual trip to Washington, D.C. The trip is to honor and thank our local veteran and is 100% free of charge. But like many things, the trip was canceled due to COVID concerns. Today, we're learning who was responsible for the hostage situation at a synagogue in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It came to a conclusion late last night with all the hostages safe and the suspect dead. Here's the story from ABC News' Maria Villarreal.
The tense, nearly 12-hour-long standoff at a North Texas synagogue coming to an end late Saturday.
The FBI called out the hostage rescue team, which is an elite hostage rescue force out of Quantico, Virginia.
President Biden calling it an act of terror.
We have this capacity to deal with assaults on particularly the anti-Semitism that has grown up. They should rest assured that we are focused. We are focused. The Attorney General is focused on making sure that we deal with these kinds of acts.
The situation unfolded Saturday morning at Congregation Beth Israel when the suspect interrupted a scheduled Shabbat service, taking Rabbi Charlie Citron Walker and 3 others hostage.
It's very likely this situation would have ended very badly early on in the day had we not had professional, consistent negotiation with the subject.
Law enforcement officials telling ABC News the suspect claimed he had explosives in his backpack and was demanding the release of convicted terrorist Afia Siddiqui, who was sentenced to 86 years in federal prison for attempted murder of a U.S. soldier. Police confirming the suspect, identified as British citizen Malik Faisal Akram, is dead after what they called a shooting incident when the FBI hostage rescue team breached the synagogue. All 4 of the hostages safely rescued.
I've seen these not end this well, and anytime you have an Islamic type extremist or someone who sort of purports to be that, supposedly, that they can end really badly, as we well know.
Investigators are now working to determine if there's any connection between the hostage taker and Siddiqui. The British counterterrorism police confirm they are working with U.S. authorities in the investigation. Mireya Villarreal, ABC News, Colleyville, Texas.
The rabbi held hostage in the synagogue tells the Associated Press the captor in the final hours of the standoff was, quote, increasingly belligerent and threatening. Energy experts say look out for higher fuel prices across the country as warmer weather hits. The country is in a bit of a lull period now, but high prices will come crashing in by March, April, and May. Analysis from Gas Buddy and Oil Price Information Service say a $4 national average is possible in just a few months. They point to declining production and political instability in Kazakhstan and Libya. As we approach the holidays, some Democrats say the best way to honor Martin Luther King Jr. is to pass voting rights legislation. The Senate is set to take up voting rights reform on Tuesday, but 2 Democrat senators say they will not change the 60-vote filibuster to pass the legislation. Rashad Hudson is keeping you connected to the nation's capital.
Good evening. Against all odds, Senate Democrats insist they will try to pass voting rights legislation this week.
John Lewis and others did not give up after the 64 Civil Rights Act. That's why we got the 65 Voting Rights Act.
South Carolina Democratic Congressman James Clyburn told CNN that the best way to honor Martin Luther King Jr. is to pass election reform legislation. And Virginia Democratic Senator Tim Kaine told CBS that the reform would roll back new voting restrictions in red states.
We need to find a path to protect democracy from an assault that is being led by President Trump and his followers all over this country.
At this point, the legislation has 0 Republican support, and moderate Democrats will not agree to a rule change that would allow Democrats to pass the bill without a single Republican vote. Utah Republican Senator Mitt Romney told NBC he rejects the bill because it goes too far.
They want a real dramatic change, which is they feel that instead of elections being run at the state level, they should really be managed and run at the federal level.
And Louisiana Republican Senator Bill Cassidy argues the reform is unnecessary because the country has changed since 1965.
We've had an African-American elected president of the United States, an African-American elected to the vice presidency.
The Senate is off Monday in observance of the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, but will return Tuesday to take up voting rights. Reporting in Washington, Rashad Hudson, back to you.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
You know, things have been pretty quiet. We started off with some sunshine out there early on, but the cloud cover was quick to move in here this late morning and throughout the afternoon. A live look with a Mercy House Skytrack camera now out in Freeport at the Park Hills Golf Course. About an hour and a half ago, we had some snow flying on the camera, and we're still seeing a couple of light flurries. A few light snow showers pass through parts of southern Wisconsin. Same thing here in northern Illinois. These are not going to amount to much as we go through this evening, but it is going to drop visibility down just a bit. Notice in Rockford that visibility falling to about 2.5 miles, where we are starting to see some of that light snow come down. Same thing up in Janesville. Rochelle, not so much. Same thing out in DeKalb, and that visibility improving just a touch once you get further there out to the west. This is not something that is going to last through this evening. In fact, another hour or two, and most of this will be pushing out. Now, nothing quite like what the southeast has been experiencing with that low pressure system that brought over a foot of snowfall to parts of central Iowa Friday afternoon, we got anywhere from a dusting up to an inch and a half locally from that Friday afternoon and Friday night. That low pressure system gaining strength, bringing snow, sleet, freezing rain. Rain had a couple tornadoes down in Florida very early this morning. This is going to continue to work up the East Coast, eventually into the Northeast, and has brought quite a bit of snow. Also some issues with the sleet and the freezing rain. One of our cameras down just outside of Greenville, South Carolina, as the snow continues to come down. In fact, they have gotten more snow than we have here throughout our winter season. So that's kind of the storm track that we've had in this very kind of La Nina type pattern, to see these storm systems really kind of bypass us to the south and then work up along the East Coast. Temperature wise for us, our numbers are in the lower 20s with a little bit of a breeze, even though it's coming from the south. Does feel a little cooler out there this evening. Now, we are going to see eventually our temperatures fall by the time we get towards midweek before the numbers climb a little bit, but that overall below average trend, something unfortunately that's going to stick with us here as we go through and even round out the end of January. So we've got some flurries, a few light snow showers, again at most a dusting, but could be just enough to cause some slick spots on maybe some parking lots or back roads that didn't necessarily get plowed from the light snow we had on Friday. Temperatures when you wake up tomorrow morning, upper teens, low 20s. We are going to start the day off on Monday with cloud cover, but I think as a little more dry air comes in, eventually we'll start to see some breaks in the clouds, so we'll see some sunshine. Temperatures will be back up near 30 degrees for tomorrow afternoon. We bring back that cloud cover as another low pressure system. Watch what happens up to the north. That passes us to our north on Tuesday. It will bring our temperatures, though, on Tuesday in the 30s for the afternoon. A little breezy too, but there's a cold front that comes in early Wednesday. That cold front is going to drop those temperatures down here by the middle portion of this week. Now, I mentioned our jet stream pattern. This is really kind of what we've got here over the last several weeks. We've got a very active polar branch of the jet stream, a little less active subtropical branch of the jet stream, and that's really kind of favored bringing those storm systems down along the south. So it's brought us the cold, but not necessarily the snow to go with it. 29 for tomorrow, up to 36 on Tuesday. David, look, those numbers back down, struggling to get out of the teens on Thursday.
Now sports with David Greenberg.
It's the first round of the NFL playoffs, calling it Super Wild Card Weekend because we've got a bunch of games over the next few days. We had 2 games yesterday, 3 today, and 1 tomorrow, none of which include the #1 seed Green Bay Packers, but I am sure they were keeping a watchful eye on this first game of the day. That's because this man, Tom Brady, and the Bucs hosted the Eagles. Bucs absolutely dominated this one, already up 7-0 in the first, go up 14 on a Keyshawn Vaughn 1-yard touchdown run. This is where things really turn. The Eagles trying to get points before the half. Jalen Hurts extending the play, throws for the end zone and makes a costly mistake. Second half was much of the same as the Bucs are moving on with a 31-15 blowout win. Check in on the other wild card games going on today. Down in Dallas, Cowboys are taking on the 49ers. They're in the third quarter. And coming up tonight, it's the Chiefs and the Steelers from Arrowhead. Kickoff is at 7:15. Well, the Ice Hogs have been red hot as of late. Last night, they were playing the second half of a back-to-back against the Cleveland Monsters. The Ice Hogs trailed 3-1 in the second period. Then they trailed 5-2 in the third. But then their offense lit it up and scored back-to-back goals to bring them within a goal with just a few minutes left to play. Pulled the goaltender Colin Delia, but in that final stretch, they just couldn't get one in the back of the net to force overtime. Ended up losing 5-4. That snapped their 3-game win streak, but Coach was happy with Alec Regula picking up an assist on all 4 of the team's goals.
Yeah, real happy. I mean, I think offensively he's been, he's got some good, he's got some really good stuff there. He's got some poise, he's got some deceptiveness, and he can make things happen.
Definitely, since I've been with Rockford, I feel like we're kind of playing our best hockey here since Christmas, and I just feel a lot better out there, a lot smoother, a lot more comfortable for sure.
As for the Blackhawks, they made it 4 straight wins last night in a 3-0 shutout win over the Anaheim Ducks. Marc-Andre Fleury recorded the 70th shutout of his career, stopping all 37 shots he faced. Brandon Hagel, Patrick Kane, and Dominic Kubalik all scored for the Hawks as they improved to 14-9-3 under head coach Derek King.
knowing that we won 3 in a row before tonight probably brings a little excitement, and then we can build on this one too, make it 4 in a row, and try to keep going as a team here. But it's been fun. I think we've been streaky as a team, so try to take advantage of this little run.
That's probably one of the best games we played for 60 minutes. Hey, we had hiccups and all that, but we stayed composed and we got the job done.
As for the Bulls, they blew a late lead and lost to the Celtics 114-112 last night. They were without Lonzo Ball and Zach LaVine, who injured his knee in that blowout loss to the Warriors. Good news for the Bulls is it doesn't appear that LaVine's injury is serious. Bad news is the Bulls now have lost 3 straight and 4 of their last 5. But on the flip side, with Lonzo and LaVine out, it was a great opportunity for Ayo Dosunmu to step up, and he did just that, scoring 21 points in the loss on 9 of 10 shooting, also dished out 10 assists. Seems like he's going to be a very valuable piece for the Bulls if they want to make a championship run in the next couple of seasons.
First Warn Interactive Radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. We've had a few flurries, some light snow showers come down here over the last couple of hours. It's not a lot, but enough to give us a little coating in some spots. So be careful. Bridges, overpasses here this evening might be slick, especially with those temperatures falling back through the 20s. As we go through the night, we're down to 19 degrees tonight. We are going to hang on to that cloud cover. Might be enough just to squeeze out a flurry or two through tomorrow morning. We'll see some sunshine by tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures up to 29. A little breezy on Tuesday. 36. Strong cold front comes in. Temperatures will be dropping through Wednesday. Thursday, we're down in the low teens, 20s by the weekend.
All right, thanks, Candace. And thank you for making us a part of your home team. We'll see you at 10.